Anthony just burped real loud and gross. That's why I'm laughing. I'm kind of sad I didn't push record a second earlier.
Dude, it was like that burp in Big when he goes to St. James. Josh, it's religious.
Uh-huh. It's religious.
St. James, Josh, it's religious.
All right, here we go.
Okay, here we go.
You're listening to the Two Gomers podcast, a show about two regular guys in their 40s, embracing midlife, chasing healthy aging, and inviting a nation along for the run. This is episode 385, Travel Light, for July 21st, 2023.
Welcome everybody to this. Wait, sorry, what number is? Dang it. 308. Sorry. Welcome everybody to episode 385 of the Two Gomers podcast. This is Anthony speaking, one of those two aforementioned Gomers, coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia, with my friend Steven, all the way out in Flagstaff, Arizona.
Hey, dude.
Hey man, okay, so you can probably tell my voice is a little hoarse,
Yep.
a little weak,
Yep.
but we still wanted to press record.
You said that you almost canceled.
Yeah, yesterday I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to record. So we had let me say this morning.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, I mean, this morning even, dang it. Yeah, man, yesterday I was almost like, we're not going to be able to record tomorrow because we had this swim meet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the summer, dude. We're going to talk about summer. We're going to talk about travel on this episode. But
Yeah.
we had this swim meet and we were cheering for Lily and cheering
Yep.
for her team so hard, dude. That
You sent me the video. You were just
yeah.
nonstop yelling.
Yeah. And it's
You
so
can't help
fun.
it though. I mean, first of all, you're supposed to do that, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And second of all, you can't help it.
No way. What are you going to be like? Go Lily. Go Lily. You know, I
You're
mean,
doing great.
like when she does the breaststroke, you
Uh-huh.
know, and they come up and then go down and then come up and then go
Yep.
down, you know, or the butterfly, you go like, woo, woo.
You've sent me, I think you sent me one of those videos too, when
Yeah.
she would do that. It was, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, and I thought that was hilarious and never thought about
Yeah.
it before.
Yeah, I mean, that's what people do. It's
Yeah.
so fun. I didn't make it up or anything like that. You hear it.
No, it just because I've never had swimmers, it was a new thing to me that I thought
Yeah.
was really cool.
Yeah. So swim team, swim meet stuff has been so fun. She has her
Mhm.
last meet on Monday, and
Wow.
it's been such a blast.
But you yelled so much that your voice is gone now.
But yeah, but so that's the disclaimer on this. But dude, you and I haven't chatted in like 4 weeks,
Not
something like
not
that.
with our voice. Well, we talked a little bit before my trip, very briefly.
Yep.
But you were gone on vacation. I'm
Mm-hmm.
on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm on vacation. Then you came back for like 2 days.
Right.
And then I went to, and we're going to talk about, so we're talking about traveling light on this one. We're going to talk about a lot, but we both have been traveling a lot. And so because of that, we haven't talked like with our voices to each other, and certainly not on Zoom. I think it's been 5 weeks.
But yeah. Is there a Zoom history? Do you have a Zoom history on your thing?
What do you mean? Like I can just watch whatever we Zoomed?
No, like what calls you had. You know what I mean?
I'm sure there is, to see when that was. I mean, we also
Yeah.
have it calendared.
Oh yeah, we also have it written down. But I wasn't
1,
gonna
2,
cancel,
3,
dude.
4,
Even though
5,
I've
6.
got swim team dad voice, I'm
No,
proud of it, man.
it's been 5.5 weeks
Wow.
since we recorded, because
Okay.
we recorded 5 weeks and we recorded Monday that week. And so it's been 5.5 weeks since we've seen each other's lovely faces.
We're wearing hats also.
Both of us are wearing hats. I was wondering if you were going to mention this.
on Zoom, if you're watching our YouTube channel, if you're a Patreon,
Yeah.
we're both wearing our hats. I've got my hoodie on. I mean, I didn't take a shower today.
I was going to say, does wearing a hat mean that you didn't, is that the indicator that you did not take a shower today?
Yeah, I would. You know what? I don't think I would ever take a shower and then wear a hat.
Yeah. Can I tell you something about my hair? My
Yeah.
hair. Um, so it's um very long. I was really tempted to cut it before my travels.
Okay.
And Jack did what he always does. He reminds me, if you do that, you're going to regret it.
Just like Alex on Seriously.
Yes,
Alex,
definitely.
his hair was getting so good, and he'll never listen to this, but just one episode, he couldn't even not say something. He's like, "Yep, I got a haircut."
So, and this is I have a friend Daniel who had long hair, cut his hair, and he said, "Man, I was like every time I saw somebody with long hair on TV or in a movie or in person, I was like, what
Yeah.
have I done?" Because you
Oh
work
yeah.
so hard.
Uh-huh.
So
You
my
go
hair
through
is long.
so many bad phases and
That's the
oily
problem.
days and
That's why I wear a hat now,
yeah.
because it was
Yeah,
a
yeah.
bad hair day this morning.
Sure. Okay.
So that's the indicator for me. If I'm wearing a hat, it's just like I couldn't get it together that morning to deal with this mane.
Okay. Oh, so you could even be clean.
Yes.
Okay, maybe that's just a true Gomer 1 confession. That meant I got up and had stuff to do,
Yeah.
had to do some dilly-dallying around. I texted you from Publix right before we were like, or no, actually from getting home from Publix, that I was
Uh-huh.
going to unload the groceries. I almost said, dude, could we start 10 minutes later so I can just take a shower? I was like, I'm not going to do that. Maybe if we were meeting in person, but it's
Well, and think of
virtual.
all the content we would have missed out on. Hat
Yeah.
chat.
Oh, hat chat. And then, we're going to go to the pool. That
What a
that's
waste it would have been.
that's the other thing. Like when you're going to spend the day at the pool,
Yep.
why take a shower? I mean, I guess they say you're supposed to,
That is
some
true. But then you have to, I mean, if I don't shower after the pool, I get all itchy because of the chlorine.
right.
So if I know I'm gonna take a shower later that
Mm.
day, there ain't no way. There ain't
Dude,
no way I'm taking a shower that morning.
oh, dude, it's like eating 2 bananas. Nobody ever does that. You do one shower. You never do 2 showers in a
Two
day.
bananas, get real.
Like
That's when I
who
have my
says
trusty
give
hat
me
right next to me and I
another
put that on.
banana?
Yeah, 2 bananas. I mean, it's very true. I never thought of it before, but you're right.
Like who says after their salad, give me another salad?
I'll take two. Okay. So already we're talking travel a lot. This
Yep.
episode, here's what you can expect on this episode. We're gonna do baby step of the week in just a second, where we talk about a small step we've taken toward our health. Then we're gonna head into the core, where this feels a little bit like a risk, and I'll tell you
The
why. Because I think
core.
this is our first metaphor.
Okay.
So and we'll talk more about that, but it's something that's come up a lot in the past 2 weeks that I heard a lot in practical ways, and has
Mhm.
become a metaphorical truth I've been trying to embrace, and it's called
Oh
travel light,
man.
and we'll get into that a little bit more in the core, a lot more in the core. We'll
Yep.
end with what's giving us life this week, and of course, a ton of fun stuff along the way. But
Sweet.
first, here on the Two Gomers podcast, we have big goals. We want to health agily? No, age healthily. That's what we want to do. That's a big goal, but we know that reaching that goal starts small. So this is baby step of the week.
All right. Oh, no La Croix yet. Dang it. My La Croix is just room temperature at this point.
Oh no. Okay.
All right. It's okay. Maybe I'll go grab a cold one before the next section. Actually, let's clap. Let's clap.
Okay, good idea.
1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap. All right. This is baby step of the week.
Thank you, Bill
And
Murray.
oh, the best. Dude,
Ooh,
so
great summer movie.
oh yeah. Maybe that should be your baby step of the week is watch this. I just had lunch with a friend from church 2 days ago.
Uh-huh.
He's of the younger generation, about 10 years younger than us.
Yeah.
And he's never seen What About Bob? And I was like, I'm pretty sure that's a good recommendation, right?
Yep.
Like a safe.
Yes, I think so. It is.
Okay.
I was sitting next to a young lady on the plane.
Uh-huh.
And you know, when you fly internationally or even a long flight, you get lucky and you got those TVs in front
Yep.
of you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So she's just
yeah.
scrolling.
Mhm.
And we had already struck up a conversation. She's of the younger generation, Gen Z,
Yep.
young lady. And she's like, I don't know what to watch. And I said, have you seen Clueless?
Oh
A
wow.
solidly 90s movie.
Oh yeah.
And I said, I don't know you, but I feel like Clueless would be a home run for you. She watched
Wow.
Clueless and she said, thanks for recommending it. It was awesome. I loved it. So that
Oh,
feels very
that's
What About
great.
Bob, right? Like
Yep.
you sometimes you take a risk on that.
Uh-huh. Wow. Wait, that is bold.
It was bold.
That that is bold. I think I would be sweating bullets the whole time. Like, you're liking it, right?
Well, I heard her laughing. So I was like, okay, this is
Yeah.
going to work.
Oh, the first laugh would be such a relief, right?
Yes. Clueless is also less than 90 minutes long. It has Paul Rudd in it.
Yep.
And so I was like, I think she's really going to love this movie. And she did.
Clueless has Paul Rudd. I forgot that.
Yes. Dude, Clueless is so good. And I had just watched it. That was why. And it's a
Oh
perfect
yeah, yeah.
plain movie.
Yep.
So I was like, I think you're going to love this because I just had a blast with it.
Oh yeah. That is right on. I've just
Yeah.
been watching This Is 40 and I love Paul Rudd.
Here's the weird thing about Paul Rudd and Clueless. He looks older than he does now.
Huh. Yeah. Actually, we watched a video of how Paul Rudd eats now.
Okay. You mean
Uh, uh,
what he eats or how he eats?
no, what? Yeah, like what he like what
Okay.
his
I thought it
diet's
was
like.
maybe a video of like how he puts food
Sure,
into
how
his
he
mouth.
physically eats.
Yeah.
No, and he's like ever since doing the Marvel stuff, his
Yeah.
diet has gotten so just basic,
Yeah.
like super healthy,
Okay.
and it's one of those things of do you want to, do you want to be like Thor and just
Yep.
eat chicken breasts and broccoli?
Sounds terrible.
Or do you just want the joie de vivre and eat some joie de vivre, dude? I don't know. There's got to be a balance.
There's a balance, but I certainly lean toward one rather than the other at this point.
You're right.
Okay. Baby steps of the week.
Sorry.
Do you have a baby step you want to talk about?
You know, I was trying to rack my brain on one because I have a list, but
Yep.
what I need is just a little bit of help. My baby step is asking for a little bit of help from a friend.
Oh, okay.
So today's the first day of summer for me,
Right.
right? The summer rollout has happened. We talked about
Mm-hmm.
this on the Raiders of the Lost Ark. Results show
Yep.
summer
It's
rollouts happen
true
different.
summer for you now. Your season is done.
Yep.
Until what? August?
Well, ASO until September 12th, I think. Our first thing is
Wow,
Black
that
Panther.
sounds amazing. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
But then I do Sun River before that, and I start
Right.
teaching before that and all that stuff. But we're
Yep.
off officially the whole family until late July, early August.
Right. Amazing.
And dude, I'm feeling excited. Well, I'm
Mhm.
feeling really excited. I feel like there's a decompression happening.
Yeah.
But I just feel like I hit this year too hard or too much or
Well, you had
and
you had
so
you got a promotion, you had a different job, right? I don't know if
yep.
is that a word to use in the orchestra
Yeah.
world? I don't know if
Yeah. I mean,
I
a
mean,
temporary, acting role for a
yeah.
year that was really awesome and really fun. It's going to
Mhm.
continue next year for a little while.
Yeah.
And, but this was just a stressful year. It was a taxing year.
Mhm.
Maybe you can even, maybe it's like that with the swim meet and everything. It's like, I feel like I just crossed the finish line. And, I am counting blessings because I do have a job where I get 8 weeks off. So I know
Incredible.
some
Yep.
people might get a week or two and then it's right back. So the decompression can actually happen a little slowly and then I
Yep.
can savor for a while.
Mhm.
But I just and then also you can kind of set yourself up and think about how do you want to enter the next one of
Yep.
these.
Yep.
So I guess I don't really have a baby step, but I want to ask you to let that percolate in your mind how you think I could, I don't know, set up to feel like I crossed the finish line well once again next year or something.
Yeah. I mean, I have advice that I would give me because I do it. That makes no sense what I just said because I do it. I guess I can tell you what I do but I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if it would work because we're different people.
Mm-hmm.
And that is I actually think about what kind of fun I want to have in the next blank 4 to 8
That's really
weeks.
good. Uh-huh.
And I just have so much fun on one of the pages in my journal writing what books I'd love to read, what movies I
Yeah.
want to read, and several fun experiences I want to have with my family. And that's a no pressure thing for me. It's just kind of like if I don't get to all this stuff, whatever. But it's kind of like a Christmas list
Mm-mm. Like that.
of what would be gifts to me in the next however long, 1 month, 6 weeks. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not like I'm gonna feel bad if all that didn't happen, but it's just a fun way for me to start my summer, and I do that every time. Every first day of summer, I do that.
Mm. I like that.
We used to do it as a family. Now that we have a 17-year-old and a 20-year-old, it doesn't. There's a lot of things that don't quite work like they used to, but it's
Sure.
still fun to do on my own.
Yeah. Okay, that rules.
Yeah.
We have right now behind this door a 7-year-old with her
Mm-hmm.
7-year-old friend
Mm-hmm.
and an 11-year-old with her 11-year-old friend.
Mm-hmm.
And then Aaron doing some just some stuff around the house.
Yeah.
And so it's got that summer vibe, but it is interesting already seeing those sort of those ages
Yeah.
already. 'Cause they are getting to the point they're not 17 and 19, but they have interest, they have autonomy, they have
Yeah.
like, why can't I do this? Let's do this, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then wait, I don't want to do that 7-year-old thing. I want to do
Yeah.
my 11-year-old thing.
Yep.
You know, I don't want to do that 44-year-old. Even though,
There's
dude,
the
what
rub.
about Bob hits all that Venn diagram, all that whole thing? Every single one of those people would have a blast watching. What about Bob?
And it was the young lady next to me on the plane probably would have loved
Yep.
it if I had
Yep. Or
recommended that.
Clueless.
Yep.
Maybe Clueless, not quite. There's a
I would
little
say
bit of
they're not. Yeah,
innuendo.
I would say don't show
Yeah.
Clueless yet, but I would say
Yeah.
it's an amazing teenager movie.
Oh yeah. Is that did I go on a date to that one in early high school? I
Probably
think I
that
did.
it was a very take a person on a date to that movie because it's a rom com,
Yep.
but it's so well written and so funny.
Is that from pre-existing material?
Yeah, it's based on Emma.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
That's
Um,
what I thought.
which makes the fact that she and Paul Rudd, who is her stepbrother, the fact that they get together at the end not so gross because it's based on ancient literature,
Okay.
not ancient but traditional literature.
Oh, so okay. Is Polly Shore in that?
Nope. But there are
That's
Pauly
confusing.
Shore type characters in it because it's a '90s rom com.
Okay, got it.
When you
All
see the
right, dude.
guy who I'm talking about, you'll say that's why I thought Pauly Shore was in this.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna make that list, and then you and I can maybe have some separate convos as to how to set up
Mm-hmm.
next year to not quite feel so slammed. But actually, I think with what you said, maybe a baby step in there is even injecting fun
Yep.
into even the year. So not just injecting fun now,
Yeah. There
fun
was
and
this
rest.
there was this moment, I guess maybe 10 years ago, I would always get so depressed when the
Hmm.
school year started again.
Mm.
And I remember, I don't know if it was Roger or just some other wise person in my life saying, just because fall is starting doesn't mean you can't have fun anymore.
Yeah. What?
Like, why do
Why?
you put so much pressure on yourself
I
to get
know.
all the fun done? Hurry up and have fun, or else I'm going to be mad.
Do it. And then the rest of the year, like just totally. I know. It's like, yeah, maybe being consistently injecting fun
Mm-hmm.
and getting her done. Have
Yeah.
some fun, but get her done. Like just a combo of that
That's
or
our motto
something.
for 2023.
Have some fun, but get her done.
Um,
Yeah.
okay, well, I think it would be not only helpful but fun for you even just take 5 minutes and write out a list of some fun things you want to do over the summer.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. Thanks, dude.
Um,
How about
okay.
you?
I'm gonna there's a baby step, not of the week, but a baby steps I've been taking for the past 23 years that I have to talk about today.
Oh man, that
Because
was like hearing there's going to be a 7-hour Indiana Jones movie. I want to hear all of it, bro.
because we're talking about this trip I just got back from.
Yeah.
We went to Ireland for our 20th anniversary that ended up being 3 years late.
Yep.
And then we went to Vienna. We took the boys, 18 days in Europe. We're going to be talking about that. I have
Sure.
had a couple people ask me, not this rudely, but question like, wait, aren't you poor? like they haven't said that, but they have said
Wow.
like, how are you guys going to afford that? Because when we
Dang.
decided to take our boys also, it doubled the cost of this already expensive trip.
Sure.
But honestly, dude, when they said, yeah, we want to go, you move heaven and earth to make that
Yeah.
happen.
Wow, I can't believe that. Okay, that was a shocker and a random thing. Okay, I'm sorry to
So,
hear that.
so like
Are you guys
which the truth of the matter is we don't make a ton of money. So I think people have been surprised, like, how were you guys in Europe for 18 days with your kids? How did that work?
Okay.
And so I will
Yeah.
tell you how that worked. It's baby steps. When we got
Oh
married,
man. Okay.
I secretly made this decision that I was going to put cash in a shoebox every month. And I
Yep.
didn't care how much cash that was. It could be $1, it could be 10.
Yep.
It was mostly $20 a month I saved in the shoebox.
Yep.
And if I didn't have cash on me, which became increasingly a reality, right? As the 2000s progress, you just don't have cash. I
Yeah.
would go to the ATM and take some out
Uh-huh.
and put it in the shoebox. And Jessica never knew. And on
Nice.
our 10th anniversary, I presented her with this shoebox.
Uh-huh.
And there was like $1,500 in it.
Yep.
And she said, what if we keep doing that
Oh baby.
and do something amazing for our 20th?
Yeah.
And I want to go overseas somewhere. I would
Mhm.
love to go to Europe. But this shoebox isn't going to do it. We need 10 more years of a shoebox.
I like meant
So
10 more shoe boxes.
we kept doing it.
Yep.
And we got to our 20th and we couldn't go, and we kept doing it right up to the 23rd.
Yeah.
And so saving a little bit of cash, and I'll tell you, we have been so tempted to spend it on other stuff over the years.
Yeah. Sure.
Packing that shoebox full of
Yeah.
small bills
Yeah.
basically paid for our trip to Europe for 18
Dang.
days. But wouldn't have happened without baby steps, and it wouldn't have happened if we had backed off that commitment.
Mm.
So 2 days before we left, I brought the shoebox into the bank and just put it all. It was the first time we had made that analog decision digital.
Yeah.
And then we paid off the flights that we had bought, and we used that money to just have a blast in Vienna in particular.
Gallivant around
Good word. We did too.
around Europe. Oh man. I absolutely love it.
Yeah. So baby steps, we've been doing baby steps for a while, and then I was like, I got to talk about this
Yeah.
because it's small. I can't remember the thing. Small habits.
Small. Oh, the compound. I don't know.
It's like small steps, trust in time. There's this threefold thing that we've said to each other. And I can't remember what it is right now, but that's
Oh,
what it
yeah.
is. Like tiny little increments. And you do it over and over and consistent. And then you just trust that you keep doing that. It'll result in something big. And it did.
Just keep trusting, dude.
Mm-hmm.
The habits you have today will shape tomorrow, dude.
And it's so fun when you get to tomorrow.
You actually had a tomorrow. You had a
Weird.
tomorrow 23 years in the making. That's pretty amazing. Like tomorrow for once became today.
Yep.
You know?
If once in a while that happens.
Yeah.
And it was pretty special.
I love it. That's so cool.
So I want to keep talking about the trip if we can in the core. Should we head over to there?
Absolutely. Let's do it. All right, let's clap again. I was looking at my phone trying to find that quote, but it would take too long. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap. Hey dude, How's it going over there? I hope you got the gift of gab by touching the Blarney Stone. Hope you had some Guinness and Jameson or Bailey's or whatever, and some schnitzel. All right, talk about it. Can't wait to hear about it.
All great questions. We did not see the Blarney Stone.
Ah,
In fact, I don't think you can kiss it. I don't
why
think even
not?
you. I think since COVID, you can't kiss the Blarney Stone.
Oh, sure. Yeah, yeah.
So we did not go to the Blarney Stone. I did have 2 Guinness.
Is that plural?
I made that up.
Guin-
Guinnesses, I
Guinea
think actually say,
pigs.
because everybody was like, it does taste different here.
Okay. Yeah.
But I asked a bartender and he's like, it doesn't. He's like,
Was
I've
he
been
was
to the
like,
States.
sure, this
One
is
of
the same stuff I ship.
one of the things about us is we pride ourselves on the fact that Guinness tastes the same all over the world.
Okay.
Like that's the quality of a Guinness. So he
Yeah.
was almost offended when I asked him whether it tastes better in
Oh,
Ireland.
dang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't get very far through it, but I ordered it twice. How about that?
Okay. What did the family think of it?
Um, we're is this a good thing or bad thing? I don't know. None of us are beer fans. We discovered
Sure,
on this
that's
trip.
fine. That's fine.
And I wonder if it's because of the Guinness is like bitter, is it or not, compared
Yeah.
to other beers?
Oh,
Okay,
oh yeah. Guinness has like a bitterness, but again, it's an acquired taste. It's like coffee.
exactly. Yep.
It's a little bitter and yeah, it's more of a
Now,
I
try
think
as I might, I can't acquire it. So some can acquire this taste, but I just have
God,
not been able to acquire the taste of alcohol at all.
right. Dude,
That just,
that's
that it
fine.
just grosses me out. We did have a Bailey's coffee. We had an Irish coffee. We tried all sorts of stuff.
Mm,
Um, so that was really fun. We were there, uh, partially for our anniversary,
mhm.
but also we were there with a group of people, um, to on a pilgrimage. Basically, it was a spiritual pilgrimage. So with 13 other people,
Incredible.
touring around the entire country plus Northern Ireland, learning about the history, the Civil War, but also the spiritual history that is deep and kind of rooted Celtic spirituality. It was incredible.
Wow.
So
Sounds
we traveled
awesome.
all the way around. We didn't see the Blarney Stone, but we saw the Cliffs of Moher.
Is that the one where you went up and is that where you texted me that video from?
Yeah. So just those like
Man.
hundreds of feet high, straight
Yeah.
down into the ocean. It's where Dumbledore is when he's in that. There's a very famous Dumbledore scene in the sixth movie, I think, where he's in front of these giant cliffs and it's all stormy. Those are the Cliffs of Moher. It's in a lot of
Dang.
movies.
Okay, yeah.
Um, so we went to those. We went up this mountain, Kilpatrick, where St. Patrick apparently went up and slept for 40 days
Hmm.
and 40 nights, just praying for the country.
Wow.
We saw all these ancient ruins. It was so cool. And so we would like hike long distances every day. Then we'd go back to this shuttle and then we'd shuttle up to the next. We'd take a bus basically to the next location. And so
And what were your what where were you staying?
we would stay at like hotels, hostels, and Airbnbs.
Okay. And that was
Um,
put together by them?
yes. And so I would say most people are like, what was the favorite part of your trip? My response initially always is I didn't have to plan a thing.
Dang. Yeah, that's pretty great. Now,
And
you're a
I just
planner
can't
though.
remember. Yeah, well, so that's a great point. But I was so ready for it for some reason.
Yeah.
Like I can't remember. It's been decades since I've been to like a spiritual thing that I haven't. I mean, I've been to like track meets and PTO meetings that I don't lead, and those drive me crazy because they're so poorly led. Every
Yeah.
meeting I go to, dude, I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But this
Make it
was well
efficient and
led,
make it fun
right? Exactly, and make it short.
and make
Um,
it short. Yeah.
this was well led, and it was. I guess the best part was like I didn't have to figure out where we were going to stay or where we
Yeah.
were going to eat, and we ate really well, or where we were going to go the next day. It was all planned, and so it wasn't fancy. Nothing was fancy about the trip, which was also cool.
Yeah.
Um, but we ate really well and drank really well and saw amazing things. Um, and I didn't have to pay for we had paid up front, right? It cost
Yeah.
a certain amount
Yeah.
of money for each of us to go on this trip. We paid that amount, and then we were just like taken to these amazing places, and we probably walked 5 or 6 miles a day, average,
Wow. Yeah.
up mountains sometimes to these lakes. There were these lakes and there were these mountains butting right up to them, and so when you were down on lake level, you'd see the mountain reflected in the lake.
Yeah.
And first of all, we don't see lakes at all in Arizona anymore, but you don't see that in Wisconsin. You don't see like a giant hill or mountain
Yeah.
reflected into the lake.
Right. Oh
And so
man.
that
And
felt
and
like something I'd never seen before and it was awesome.
so water plus green, right? It's just two
Green?
polar opposites to where you live.
And maybe it's because we're from Arizona, but it was like there's a word I don't even know for this green. I feel like
Yeah.
like there must be some Gaelic word I don't know for this green.
Mm,
So many different kinds of green. It did remind us a lot of Wisconsin.
okay.
Um, in that there's just like a lot of like in Arizona, you're breaking your back to grow anything.
Yeah.
And in Wisconsin, the work is you're trying to stop things from
Yeah,
encroaching.
you're just
You know what I mean?
you're just trimming stuff,
Yep.
pulling stuff, you know, yeah,
Mowing. Yep.
whacking stuff.
So much whacking in Wisconsin.
Totally.
Um,
But yeah, maybe the green is called Shire, dude.
it,
Just the
it was
Shire.
so many places. I was like, that looks like the Shire. That looks like the Shire.
Is it just that so much of our favorite literature is based there? You know what I mean? I
It's
mean,
like the
Tolkien,
fantasy worlds that we love.
yeah.
Yep,
Mm,
you're right. It is like that. Plus, like granite mixed in.
dang, yeah. I mean, just like ancient,
Yep.
solid.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's one of those things I love about mountains. We've talked about tons of times, but like I love
Yeah.
about mountains and I love about rock like that
Mm-hmm.
is it's been there for forever.
There would
It's
be like
not,
this big open massive field,
yeah.
ocean of green, and there would be these granite islands
Oh,
coming out of that
yeah.
with moss on them, and like you're looking out and you're
Yeah.
like, I wonder if anybody's even touched that ever.
Uh-huh. Yep.
It's beyond cool.
That kind of stuff just like when we were talking actually on that I on the episode where we were talking about being myopic,
Mm-hmm.
like you're constantly looking at what's about a few feet from your face,
Yeah.
your
Yep.
phone,
Yes.
uh that that cuts you off from your peripheral vision.
Yep.
And in peripheral vision, you see the grand scheme of things, you see a
Mm-hmm.
grand timeline, and then you can behold things that are beautiful. And so when you're in a place like that, those mountains, that water, it's almost like it starts to heal your myopia
I
in your
I
soul.
I
You
couldn't
you know
agree
what I
more.
mean?
I felt healed. I experienced a
That's,
lot of healing there, and it was because of what I was seeing.
yeah, but it's far away. You know what I
It's
mean?
far away.
Like you can't touch it, like you said. Like maybe no human hands ever touched that.
I mean, my brain was going a mile a minute about that stuff. Like,
You start soaking, like it.
uh-huh. I felt like saying,
It
"Stop the bus! I want to go out there."
yeah,
Every time we turned a corner.
it's like when the like when we went to Cuba
Uh-huh.
and our tour director said you're going to be tempted to take a picture of all the old cars. He's like, don't,
Uh-huh.
because every corner you turn around, there's going to be another old car because that's all there
Yep.
are is like just old cars. You're like, look, more of those cars.
It's
But
very like that, especially the first day you're in a place where you're like, I got to take a picture of that flower because I'm never going to see another one, and there's a billion of them.
yeah, but it just, oh man, I want to see this so bad. I loved your pictures and your videos and of
Mm-hmm.
just seeing the boys at the top of that mountain.
Mm.
Like what an experience for them. Did you guys all have like journals? Did you have books like
Yeah.
to
w-
write that? Like, what was your
So it was pretty cool.
I
We
saw him
had,
writing it look like.
yeah,
How can I help?
had actual rhythms of the day where
Okay.
we would pray in the morning together as a group, and it was very liturgical because we were in Ireland,
I'm
and
down.
so
Sign me up.
yeah, and then we would have midday prayer, and then we would share and process at night.
And sorry, how big is this group?
13 of us, and
Oh,
very
so
multi
four
generational.
Gromans. This
Yeah,
is this
four
is
Grommen. We
quarter Gromman.
a quarter Grommen. We were the only introverts in the group, so lots of sharing stories and
Oh
talking.
wow. Okay, so in those evening sessions, like did
Yeah,
you guys share a lot, or because of the introvertedness, like a
yeah.
little less,
You
or?
know, an introvert shares but thinks first, and
Uh-huh.
so we shared less than other people did. But when Jessica opens her mouth, people are riveted.
Yeah.
And so, and the boys, it took, I would say it took several days, but eventually they shared, and the last night especially, they shared pretty deeply. It was awesome.
Whoa.
Um, so we had from Jack was the youngest, 17, and all the way up until we had folks in the 60s with us.
Love it.
So it was great, multi-generational, lots of different experiences. But yeah, at night we would process and then encourage to journal also. So here's what happened. Before we went, we get this email from our leader who used to be in my employ, Bridget. She used to be my staff. Now she leads these trips.
That's Bridget?
That's Bridget.
Wait,
So,
I, yeah, she used to be one of your staff, right?
yep. So
And
now
she
she has a
leads.
new job, which is to lead these trips.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry, I did not make that connection.
Oh
Okay,
no, don't worry
cool.
about it. It's fine. So
That's
it was
cool.
cool also to be led by her, somebody who I've led.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So there's probably an episode in that somewhere about being willing to be. Anyways,
Sure.
she sent out all this prep email, and one of the things she wrote was, "We need to travel light.
Mm.
We're not tourists, we're pilgrims," was one thing she kept saying, which was amazing. And I was just trying to wrap my mind around what that meant
Oh,
for my
that is
life
so
the whole
good.
time.
Dude, that is so good.
And so, like, sometimes she would say, "Listen, we just need to take a break from the pictures. Like, you're not looking at what's in front of you, you're looking at it through a screen. That's
Yeah.
what tourists do. You need to receive this
Okay.
into your eyeballs."
Wow. So instead of screen, more paper, less screens. Wait, no.
But it's
Yeah.
it is weird to think about that, right? Though you're seeing something beautiful and then you're putting a small screen and it never looks as good
No. Yeah, you're like it looks flat,
far away.
like no dimension to it.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
anyways, she said travel light
Okay.
for a couple reasons. One is our bus isn't that big.
Yep.
And so everybody gets a carry-on. That's it.
Okay.
For 18 days in Europe, that's all you get. Um,
Okay. We're gonna need to unpack that literally and figuratively, dude.
well, there was a
Like,
lot of unpacking.
okay.
Um, and then also because she's Bridget, she said, and you can probably guess that there's more to this than that. Like, I
Sure.
I want you as unencumbered as you can be on this
Yeah.
trip. You you shouldn't be thinking about what am I going to wear tomorrow to look cute, right? Like
Sure.
that's not the point of this trip. That's another
Yep.
tourist thing.
Sure.
Um, and so
Wow.
we will go to the laundry several times during the trip, so you don't have to worry about that. So pack light so you can travel light.
Yep.
And for some reason, through the 2 weeks or whatever, because then we went to Vienna afterwards, which is maybe another episode about reconnecting with your roots that kind of blew my life out of the water.
Sure.
Um, in Ireland, especially, I kept hearing that phrase, not out loud,
Which pack light, travel light,
travel light.
travel light. Okay.
And I was like, okay, I just keep hearing that. What is that? And um, it stuck with me. And I couldn't stop thinking about how that concept, travel light, could be,
Yeah.
should be, would be a key practice for me as I seek to age healthily the rest of my life.
Mm, yeah.
Um, and so I guess what I mean by that, and so there's practicalities of the actual packing.
I know That when you and I were talking about this episode,
Yeah.
talking about your trip, it's like, I
Hmm.
mean, there are some practicals because I have bulging suitcases at all times everywhere I go. I am horrid at this. It was ingrained in my, Boy Scout, like the Boy Scout motto is be
Be prepared.
prepared,
Right.
right?
Yep.
And so it was just like ingrained in me. What if this happens? What if that happens? Like I saw this meme that was like, what if I poop my pants every day? Okay, so then that means you need twice as much underwear, like so
Yes,
like
definitely.
or what if you wanted your guitar? What if you wanted to make reeds? What if you were going to
Uh-huh.
podcast? You know? So
And all that stuff is true even I would say especially when you're going someplace where you have no idea what you have access to.
sure.
So that felt like an added uh challenge, which is like, I don't know what I'm going to be able to plug in. So I better bring 5
Right.
adapters
Yeah. 5 adapters. You need AirPods for this, but you need your Trex AfterShocks for that, but you need your good headphones for that.
because what if my AirPods break? Then I better have one that has this connection, and I need this
Yep.
connection to watch a movie on the plane, which is different than my AirPods.
Yeah.
Um, so, and we've done an episode for 6.2 Patreon listeners about packing, so we don't need to
Mhm.
completely relitigate that. But
Right.
it was an extra challenge this time to say, I'm going to bring for over 2 weeks 1 pair of pants besides the one
Whoa.
I'm wearing.
Okay. Yeah. So you got
And then you think about like,
yeah.
I'm wearing these things, so I don't have to pack them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good.
Yep.
But what am I packing in this carry on? And I wanted to say I've run in these countries, so I had to make room for my running shoes in
Right.
addition to my
Oh yeah.
hiking shoes.
Oh yeah. That's
Um,
legit.
so there was a lot of creative packing, and mostly when you pack or travel light, it's all about cutting.
Mm-hmm.
That's not important, so I don't need to bring that.
Yep.
But it is hard to foresee what you are going to need and aren't going to need.
My mind is blown. I mean, I would so I'm like, okay, well, I need my Birkenstocks, but I need also my waterproof Birkenstocks because what if there's a pool? So then I need a swimsuit, because we got to do that. But
Yep.
I got to get my goggles.
My
Well, I'm gonna
goggles.
want to run, so I got my running shoes. Gonna want to hike, so we got my hiking stuff. But I need
Yeah.
different hiking clothes.
Right.
What if we go out to dinner? Like that's what my brain does. Boy Scout, man,
Yeah.
be
It
prepared.
it makes total sense to me, and it was an added challenge because Bridget was like, here's like we can't nobody can bring a full size suitcase. It's just not going to fit.
Sure. And what kind of car did 13 does the 13 include Bridget or she's
Yeah,
14?
and the driver. So it was like a small bus or a large van, I would say. So
Okay.
it was 14 seats in it, and then a trunk.
Got it. Okay.
So there wasn't much wiggle room. So if she hadn't done that, we would have been screwed.
Man, you guys got close with this motley crew.
We did get close with the Motley Crew very fast. You've been on trips before, right? Like
Oh
with groups
yeah.
of people where there's that awkward moment at the beginning where you're all meeting, and you're like, "But I know in 2 weeks we're all going to be really close," and that's weird to think about.
Yeah. Well, it's the first episode of Survivor.
Yes, that's a great
Like
analogy.
everybody's everybody's handshakes and hugs, and by the end they're
they're
like
just they're just pushing each other under the water, burning each other's socks.
right, but hopefully on a spiritual pilgrimage, like you're saying though, it would do actually they develop some pretty amazing relationships on Survivor. And that's different because it's a game and
Well,
there's a
but
million
and
dollars at the
on
end.
the other hand, it is hard no matter what to be with 13 other people for 2 weeks that you didn't
Yeah.
know before.
Oh
We
man,
felt
yeah.
that for sure.
Sure.
Um, so there's the practicalities of the packing light: space, amount of people, amount of
Yep.
what all the decisions about what you need to do. Um, but then it was so great because we had done that work, we were able to
Yeah.
actually travel unencumbered.
Yeah. Oh, once you do that,
Mm-hmm.
then the traveling is wonderful, right? Because you're not encumbered.
Exactly. You're not
Mm.
kind of tied or weighed down. So this felt like kind of a risk to talk about this because I haven't thought it through as an introvert as much as
Okay.
I'm in process on it.
Yeah.
All I know is that I'm sure it means something to me when
Okay.
it comes to being healthy as I age and as I move into the second half and then third and then fourth quarter and then fifth of my life, right?
Yeah.
Which I
Yeah.
know I'm going to always be thinking about, like, okay, now
Yeah.
I'm in my third. Um uh I this here's what I've been able to come up with, and I did a lot of
Okay.
thinking about it then and have been thinking about it since then. I think what it means to me in my life is that I need to let go or cut out things that weigh me down emotionally,
Okay.
uh, mentally,
Mm-hmm.
physically,
Mm.
relationally. Those get
Yeah.
increasingly more complicated, I think. Well, maybe not. They're all complicated at different times in your life. Um,
Yeah.
that are weighing me down and preventing me from living with the lightness of being that I want to live.
Mm.
Um, and the things that come to mind probably right away are things like grudges. They have to do with my how I feel about other people, bitterness,
Mm-hmm.
unforgiveness,
Mm.
those boulders that are on my shoulder, on the shoulder boulders.
Those are on the shoulder boulder holders. Like those are no, those boulders are on your shoulder.
And they feel, I know all those things are like relational and mental and spiritual too, but they feel physical, they feel heavy.
Yeah.
Um, so I need to do some metaphorical unpacking of those things.
Yeah.
And I wish I could, we need to do an episode on that, I think, forgiveness, because I need to put some more thought into how I would explain how to do that. And also, I
Yeah.
guess I just don't know some of the ins and outs of it, but I know that I need to.
Yeah.
So there's that. Then, as I think about it deeply, I also feel like I need to throw off or cast off or unpack and put aside some like expectations that I have of myself. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I figured I was going to get emotional so people can just deal with that. And that others have on me that I haven't lived up to yet. I'm
Mm.
45 and I may
Yeah.
never live up to,
Mm.
and be okay with that and cast those things off. Like I just have these, why haven't I done this yet? Um,
Yeah.
and I've heard that from, when are you going to do this? Where are you going to finish that?
Yep.
And it feels heavy and it makes my traveling pretty heavy.
Mm.
So there's like, dreams and aspirations, those are good things. But there are some that I know that are damaging to me and they are making my life heavy. So
Mm.
I guess like I could name some, like the anything that has to do with climbing a ladder.
Yeah. Yeah.
um Metaphorically again.
Yep.
I mean, I like climbing ladders at my house and cleaning out
Yeah.
gutters and stuff like that, but what I'm
Falling
talking
down
about,
them
you know
with
what I'm talking about,
stuff in
like
your shorts, AirPods, right?
at the top of the pooping my pants at the top of the ladder because I had bad Chick-fil-A,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then going into the shower fully dressed and ruining my AirPods.
Right.
I guess I could do without that ladder climbing also. Um, just like wealth. I just
Mm.
mentioned, dude, we're not rich, never probably will be, but I still want to be. But
Yeah.
that's a heavy, um, I don't know, aspiration that isn't helpful for me, I think. Even like financially comfortable, Like sometimes I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't need to be rich, God, but could I just be comfortable?
Yeah.
And we just never been in that place um where we've been able to buy a car that we choose. Like we've never gotten to a point financially where we choose a car. The car always chooses us. And it's like annoying and embarrassing.
Mm,
Um but I have to figure out a way to release that because it's heavy and I cannot travel in the way that I
yeah.
want to travel with these things weighing me down. Stuff like
Yeah.
attention. I want to be known as this or that. I want fame. Sounds so dumb.
Yep.
Um, so I don't know, dude. Obviously I'm in process. People can hear that. Something is in me right now, and I just felt like maybe other people might feel this way true too. I'm like in the second half of my life, I'm kind of tired of feeling so heavy and traveling with all these things like attached to me or at the beginning of Saving Private Ryan when those guys jump out of that thing and some of them have those heavy backpacks on and they just sink and
Yeah.
die right away. They can't even get to the shore.
Yep. Totally.
Like
I remember
I
that.
need to cast off that stuff on me because sometimes it just feels like it's drowning me and I cannot
Y-
travel freely.
Yeah. Well, even think about in just with Saving Private Ryan when the dude, the journalist is going to travel with them.
Oh yeah.
Remember? And he grabs all this stuff, and Tom Hanks is like, "You don't need that. You don't need that. You don't need that." And then he like he has a typewriter.
He wants to bring his typewriter.
Yeah,
I was wondering if I remembered that right. Yeah,
yeah.
dude.
Remember that? He's like, "You don't need that, dude."
This couldn't be more true to how I feel. Like especially because part of this is what I want to be as a writer. It's so weird that you would say that, dude, because sometimes I do feel like
Yeah.
I'm carrying around this typewriter,
Dang, bro.
an unfinished business. And when will I be satisfied with myself? And when will I think other people are satisfied with me? And it just feels so heavy. And so sometimes I like to come to the end of the core and be like, here's how to do it.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not there. And that's why it feels so risky to actually talk about it because I like to have the plan laid out before I tell other people what I'm going through.
Yeah, but you're in process sharing
Very in
this pretty
process.
pretty raw. Wait, here, pause right there. My headphones are dying. 1 second.
Okay, no problem.
Sorry.
No problem. You got me? Check, 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 check.
I have to put you in this.
Okay. Hello, hello. Hello, hello.
But my thing stopped.
Okay,
Can
I'll
can you
stop
go
mine.
to yes, stop it. Go to 53. Just go to 53:20
Good
even.
idea.
I'm really
5320.
sorry. Yeah, 53:20 even.
Perfect. I think what you were saying was you're like in the process.
Yep. Oh, I remember.
Okay, good.
53:20 even.
Yep.
Okay, let's start that. 1, 2, 3, click. Okay. Let's clap. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap. Yeah, I think it's amazing you're sharing this as you're in process, dude.
Mm.
Uh, I've had a couple of sort of like dreams recently
Hmm.
that I'd actually like to talk to you about maybe later.
Okay.
Um, I had this dream, dude. I woke up. See, this episode's about you.
No, it's not.
Uh,
I shared my story, but I want to hear your dream. I'm really
no,
intrigued.
like, okay, I was carrying a
Hmm.
golden idol, dude.
Whoa.
Like I was, and the Lord was like, "You picked that up again."
Uh
It's
huh.
like, set it down.
Uh huh.
Because I was like, it's just funny that we were talking about this at the beginning of the episode, how exhausted and spent I am at the end of the season.
Yeah.
and it was a couple weeks ago. It was when you were there,
Uh,
and he was like, "You're exhausted and heavy laden
uh-huh.
because you picked that thing back up again,
Right.
and you're walking around carrying this like heavy
Mm-hmm.
idol."
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Lay it down, let it go, and love."
Uh-huh.
And
I
it's
mean, thanks for sharing that because it actually is it's insightful into what I'm trying to say, which is that sometimes we feel exhausted and we think it's just because we're working too hard or
mm,
we're too busy. And actually, there's a lot more things that exhaust us.
mm,
There's a lot more heaviness happening in our lives. And it's these things I listed, and it's also whatever friggin' idol
yeah,
you're shouldering and you're carrying. That's like that's beyond, oh, I work too much, I'm too busy, my schedule isn't like it's
right,
there's other heavy things happening. That dream's crazy, bro.
yeah. It's, I mean, we just got to go back and listen to your sermon
Yeah.
where you've got that yoke,
Mm-hmm.
that you've got that hard yoke that's around your neck,
Mm-hmm.
just weighing you down,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
Or in my dream, which was, it wasn't a yoke, but it was something I'm carrying,
Yeah.
like holding, and
You were
then
holding
trying
it
to
with your hands. Is that how
holding
it
it with
was?
my hands, dude, out like
Uh-huh.
this.
Uh-huh.
And it's something that you, first of all, don't even need, but also don't need to bring with you.
Well, and you can't play your bassoon if you're holding that.
You can't hold your kids. You can't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
But right, you can't cherish your marriage and
Mm-hmm.
cook fun food and enjoy each other.
Mm-hmm.
You're just carrying that dang burden around with you.
Yep. And so I think that's why and it's interesting that it was happening while I was traveling. I don't think I would be processing this way if I hadn't gone to Ireland. And
Mm,
so I would also encourage people, you should, if you can start saving right now in 20 years, if that's how long it takes, you should travel
yeah.
because you never know what the crap is going to happen when you do it. Like internally, something happens to you
Yeah.
when you take yourself out of that, when you see beautiful things, when you put yourself in a different culture, and when you focus on what's next in my life. Um,
Mhm.
anyways, this thing is just like, what what am I carrying that is exhausting me so much? What
Man.
have I packed that I don't
Yeah.
need
Whoo.
that is hurting me and filling up this van and impacting other people? If I had
Yeah.
packed a full suitcase and ignored that rule, somebody else couldn't have brought their stuff.
Dude, totally. Like that van, that's a like an incredible spiritual analogy for all the baggage we bring to any environment we're in.
Yep.
Is we're like, "Hey, can you pick that up for me?" Like all this crap I brought. I mean, like I like know that literally because I am an overpacker and an like uh right, but there
And
is
when you
only a
have limited
finite, yeah.
space, they're impacted. Your not your Anthony, but
Yeah, yeah,
one's
yeah.
inability to pack light or travel
Yep.
light does not only affect you.
Mm. In a family totally too, dude. Forget the
Mm-hmm.
13, just go to the 4
Yep.
or to the extended.
Yep.
Your baggage, and we all have it, dude. Okay. But like your
100%.
baggage is just spilling out onto other people. So it's
Mm-hmm.
not only weighing down your shoulders.
Yep.
Uh, you know, and there's peaceful people. I don't know if Jessica I don't know Jessica well enough like for this to know like the inner workings. I know for Erin, she's like a baggage carrier
Mm-hmm. Sure.
of other people's
Mm-hmm.
baggage. Crap, that makes me want to cry so bad.
She takes on other people's stuff.
Yeah, just like
100%. Jessica too. Yep.
sure. So I think they're very similar in that. And so like where do the baggage carriers go? Like either when they're weighed down or when they're weary of all that too, you know?
Well, and for Jessica too, it's not only she takes people's baggage on. People are like, "Here, take
Yeah.
this. Hey, can you carry this for me?"
Right,
Like,
right.
and I'm sure that's Aaron also. Like,
Mhm, mhm.
you just because of the people they are, a lot of baggage is handed to them. Now maybe I can end with this.
Okay.
Another thing that I realized was when I don't know whether I should have something in that suitcase or not, I ask Jessica,
Ooh.
do I need to bring that? And she says, yup,
Oh.
or no. Uh,
Wow.
and so it it doesn't have to be a spouse. It could be a friend. It could be a relative.
Mm-hmm.
I think that what's helpful in this process is to ask other people, do you notice that that's weighing me down?
Mm.
Is this something I'm focusing on too much?
Whoa. Yeah.
When I'm doing this or when I'm packing that or carrying that, am I a better person than I am when I'm not?
Wow.
And so it was really helpful for me and always has been to say, do I need 12 pairs of socks
Mm-hmm.
or 8?
Mm-hmm.
And she, because she knows me and my feet, says, yeah, it's a good idea to take 12.
Yeah, bring some disposable socks.
And also,
And
here's a
then
special spray that we need to pack.
yeah, dude. Right.
And other
Wow.
times, I'm like, I really want to take this book halfway through. She's like, you're not going to read that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're right. And I put it aside.
Wow.
Uh,
Dude,
so
yeah.
I think that would be my last kind of encouragement of I'm obviously in process on this. I haven't figured it all out, but I do know that the unpacking, I, I can't do that. I can't see it clearly unless I'm asking other people to help.
Mm. Yeah, that's so good. Like just picturing yourself. So like you're here and you've got all this stuff around you, but you can't
Mm-hmm.
see it in perspective, but somebody's able to zoom out and be like, dude, you actually have this boulder on your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Looks stupid. It's unbecoming and it's not gonna help you at all.
And it's damaging me.
And it's damn yeah, and I'm gonna end up carrying that boulder halfway through this trip anyways.
So true. So
Wow.
yeah, it's just obviously there's a lot going on in me right now. A lot of this, when we were thinking about what are we going to talk about in this episode, this felt like a risk. I'm glad I did it. Hopefully,
Yeah.
people will show me some grace in the fact that I don't have all the answers at the end here.
Yeah. If we were in a church or something, dude, I would have taken a lap 2 or 3 times. Like there, yeah. I can't wait to listen back and edit this episode because I probably will take a lap. You know what I mean?
I do, and I've seen you do it.
Like just when there's something that blows my mind, travel light. That
Mm,
is that is a message I needed, dude. And I am this summer, dude. I'm gonna travel light and pack light.
mm.
And you're a
Ooh, I can't
pilgrim,
wait.
not a tourist,
Hmm.
is friggin' genius.
Yeah,
That
and
is
I credit where credit's due. Bridget, you should also read Bridget's book. Bridget G wrote a book about singleness, single just
nice.
because. It's
Yeah,
excellent. So that's people should read that.
awesome. Love it.
All right, dude. Let's head over to what's giving us life this week and wrap it up.
All right, sounds great. All right, let's clap. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap. Hold on, I just want to look up this quote. Uh, dang it. I won't be able to find it. Give me 20 seconds.
No props.
When we talk more about that pilgrim thing, we'll talk about it because I just remember it's either Eugene Peterson or C.S. Lewis talked about how we're like that idea,
Mm-hmm.
how we're like in a we're like an outpost of
Mm-hmm.
heaven on
Mm-hmm.
earth. We're not meant to be here
Yeah.
forever, and that very much makes me think of a pilgrim
Yeah.
as opposed to like a tourist is here to just get everything out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, a pilgrim sounds more like somebody that's on mission or something.
Well, it's
I don't
more
know.
like you receive what is there to receive without placing any expectations on it. So
Oh,
you you're just like whatever whatever this is, whatever this journey is, I receive it as part of my life.
Okay. I love it. Hey,
It's,
did
it
you
was it was really hard actually to do, but it was worth it.
Pilgrim's Progress? Have you read that?
Yeah,
I've never read it, but I've heard like a million sermons on it, and it sounds kind of crazy weird.
it's very weird,
Okay.
but it's really cool.
Is it readable?
It's it's not it wasn't readable when I was a kid, but
Okay.
I appreciated it when I was an adult.
Okay.
It's all metaphor.
Right.
And so I didn't quite get that. Where like Lion the Witch and the Wardrobe is like a great story even if you don't get the metaphor.
Yeah.
It's not like that. It's all Aslan dying on the stone
Yeah.
table and
Yeah.
rising
Yeah.
again. Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right.
Okay. All right. I'm ready.
Hey, did you do Stanley Tucci taste as your actual
No, I didn't.
life giving?
I did it as um an aside, like, hey, you should read this book.
Okay. Okay. Good. All
Okay,
right.
great. All right, here we are in the close. We always talk about what's giving us life this week. Anthony, you want to start? I've been talking a while.
Sure. Okay. So we went on a just a little mini family vacation,
Right.
and it's almost like what's giving us life is spending time together, enjoying each other's company.
Yeah.
Because I saw that this one of those memes,
Uh-huh.
and it was like 97% of the time you spend with your kids is from 0 to 18.
Yep. Dang, why did you have to tell me that? Just kidding.
Sorry,
Of course I know that,
Sorry.
but that is a stark
Yeah.
percentage.
It was like this like rope like this, and it was like here's the
Mm.
0 to 18. It was like 97%, and then it was like blips like here
Yep.
for the rest which is
Wow.
natural. It's natural.
It's natural. And you were talking about like how an 11-year-old is different even than a 7-year-old.
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend who has kids your age and is already kind of freaking out about them going to college and leaving them forever, as we do.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And I said, what's good is that they don't turn 11 and go to college.
Yeah.
You learn how to live without them as they age, because exactly what you're saying at the beginning, dude, they have sports, they have friends, they have plans, they have lives, and you kind of see less and less of them and get used to them leaving the house forever.
Oh,
But
yeah.
still, you see them every day.
Yeah.
And after
And check
18,
in with
you
them
don't anymore.
uh,
Sorry. Now if it wasn't depressing already.
it's okay. No.
Yeah.
But dude, if you travel light, if you pack light, and Noah's got a cool thing, like come to this concert, or
Definitely.
Jack's got a cool thing, and when he goes, like, dude, pack light, travel light.
Ooh, and what about schedule light?
Schedule light.
So that you can be interrupted and change plans.
Live on your toes. Be nimble. Jack, be nimble. Jack, be quick.
I don't know if I never. I can't schedule light. I won't do that.
No,
Just
you
kidding.
can't. That's
Probably
not you.
I need to press into that though.
No, but there is the freedom that comes with discipline, right? So if you are disciplined and do have some great regimented scaffolds, trellises set up,
Yep.
I think it actually does allow for some freedom.
That's true, but let me push back on myself in this. I do think that sometimes my solid, stringent strategic scheduling
Yeah.
can also prevent me from living lightly and traveling lightly.
Dang.
Because I'm less willing to be interrupted.
Right, you're like, this is what I'm doing now.
Yeah. So okay, that's another whole thing.
Oh boy, let's just uproot that which you've built since the Palm Pilot, or the whatever it was.
Trio.
The trio. Okay, so we went on the vacation, super fun.
Yeah.
Great food. Actually, one of the things we did, we got Blue Apron. We go to this cabin for like a week. We actually got a couple of Blue Aprons for $4.
Oh, nice.
And that was super fun. We're at this cabin, and we made the meals together. And
awesome.
It was, and like it's all there You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like a Lego set.
It's an edible Lego set.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but still, that's not what's giving me life. What's giving me
Oh,
life was a book recommendation from you.
hey-oh.
Let's
Ooh,
see.
food related. Oh,
Yep,
baby.
food related.
Look at that bald head.
Stanley Tucci, recommendation from Steven. Taste My Life Through Food.
Now, I
I'm only
neglected to tell you this when I recommended to you, but how Italian this book
Oh
is.
yeah, I mean I'm only a quarter of the way through it. I got to be honest because I didn't get as much time to read as I wanted to and I brought a bunch of books. And you know me, I'm always reading 3 or 4 books at a time.
Speaking of traveling heavy,
Speaking of
I got to
traveling
bring
heavy,
all 4 of those books.
I know. I mean like dude, I've got this bad boy.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Actually I should send you this.
That's Timothy
I,
Keller's
I,
Forgive.
I don't think here, listen to this. I don't know if you
Mm.
heard that, but that's
Yep,
just
I heard it.
Yeah, you're right. I did not do a good job traveling light. Uh
But
because
taste is in itself kind of a rich. You
oh
don't want to read it all at once, actually. It's
oh
kind of
yeah, just
it's good in small bites.
yeah. So yeah, it's so Italian.
Mm-hmm.
Stanley Tucci, he's in his 60s
Mm-hmm.
and he has this way of talking that makes you hungry, that makes
Great
you
food writer.
happy,
Yes. Uh-huh.
that makes you nostalgic. I mean, dude, so the Italian East Coast stuff, it
Yeah.
is my grandma brought that to Madison, Wisconsin.
Right.
You know, my dad met her,
Uh-huh.
excuse me,
Your
my
grandpa.
grandpa met her in
Mm-hmm.
Boston in the Navy, brought her home,
Yeah.
and everything in that is it's so like I feel it
Mm-hmm.
it's more like my dad's family
Yeah.
and then me as like a grandchild.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing that we've done in that book so far that we've actually brought to the table,
Yeah.
literally,
Uh-huh.
is he talks about they do their 4th of July celebration as
Oh,
Italians,
right. Yep.
you know? And so he's like, we would grill out, but we would also have Italian food,
Uh-huh.
you know?
I loved that.
You know, and so he talked about what we do is we would put the corn on the cob on the grill,
Yep.
and then he's like, we take my mom's Italian bread, slather butter on it, and then
This blew my mind.
take the grilled corn on the cob,
Yep.
and then butter the corn on the cob with the bread in hand,
Mm-hmm.
salt and pepper. Eat the best buttery corn on the cob you've ever had, and then eat that bread.
And then eat that bread, which has
Oh.
taken on some of the corn, sweet corn taste, butter, salt, and pepper.
Yeah, dude.
I had to put the book down. After that, I was like, I
Yeah.
can't go on. It's too good.
Got weak in the knees. So, dude,
I've got it right here. I was trying to find that part, but like,
yes.
I remember that vividly. Now, I will tell you, I'm glad you're only as far as you are because there's this richness to the first half of the book. That's his Italian heritage. And then you think that's as good as it can get. And then
Yeah.
he Stanley Tucci's it and tells you all these stories about like Julian being on the set of Julie and Julia and
Oh,
Big Night.
no.
And you're like, the reason the book is so good, I think, is because it's Stanley Tucci and you're already interested in him.
Yeah, you already think he's like the coolest. He was started as like a bit player and stuff, and then he was like the bad guy and stuff.
Yep.
And then now and then he was the guy in the terminal slapping that bag of chips with his apple.
And don't forget the core.
Oh yeah. Oh, the core. But there's just something about like his mouth and the way he talks about food.
Yep.
It's like he just has olive oil
For blood.
For blood on his lips or something like that. Like
Yep, he salivates olive oil.
yeah. But we've done that grilled corn 3 times now.
Yeah.
And it is
Well, it's the summer.
Summer of 2023. And dude, and you know that's at the beginning of the movie War Games.
Oh, really?
The dad does it thusly as well.
Okay. That's good. That's a good info.
Yeah.
And makes me want to watch War Games.
Yeah.
That movie's good.
Yeah, it is good.
Do you
The
want
Whopper?
to play a game? That's not the
Yeah.
right. No, it's a little bit deeper than that without an accent.
Right.
Okay, love it. I'm glad you're reading it. Take your time, bro. I would say savor this book.
I'm savoring that one.
It's worth savoring. Okay, what's bringing me life this week? Since the pandemic,
Yep.
I have had 3 transcendent movie going experiences.
Oh boy. Wait,
Dune.
can I guess? Okay, I was gonna say Dune.
Okay.
Uh, actually, Dune was the only one I could think of.
Okay. Dune, which I guess was like November. What was that? November 2021 or something?
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Oh
Last
yeah,
summer.
Batman.
Just like just, Nope, just like blew me away in the theater. And then 2 days ago.
Okay, not the Batman. I thought you liked that one.
I liked that one, but it wasn't transcendent. What I'm
Hmm.
talking about is you leave the theater and you are knocked out.
Okay.
You can't believe what you just saw, and you want to go see it again.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what
Okay.
I mean? Like,
Yep.
you remember how Dune was like, um, it looked, you couldn't even take it in,
Yeah. Oh
the
yeah.
sound and the visuals of it.
Yeah.
Um, Nope frightened me and was such a harrowing experience so much. I was like, I got to see it again, and it made me think so much, and it was so funny.
Awesome.
2 days ago, I saw Spider-Man Across the Universe,
Mm.
Across the Spider-Verse, I should say. And I can't imagine that I will like a movie more this year than I loved this movie 2 days ago. And we're talking,
Whoa.
there's still Indiana Jones coming out and Mission Impossible and Dune 2 in
Yeah.
November. But it was, I mean, I'm sitting next to Jack. We made so much noise during this movie because it is so stunning
Mm.
and such an fu to Marvel and DC right now, which to me look bad. Like, I saw The Flash last night, had a lot of fun, looks like crap to me.
Really? Oh
I just think
man.
it just, DC movies just look so dark and muddy. Do you know what I'm
Sure, sure,
saying?
sure. Yeah, yeah.
And Marvel movies have this color palette or CGI thing happening right now I'm just not into.
Can be
And then
here.
this Spider-Man is animated movie, and that is almost insulting to call it that because it's so beautiful.
Hmm.
The story is so beyond anything that Marvel or DC is putting out right now.
Wow.
There is parent and kid stuff. Jessica is sitting on my other side crying during this movie. And
Wow.
the last shot that happens, also the score is incredible, and I've been listening to it a lot, and it's unlike anything that I've heard in a long time. The last shot of this movie ends, goes to black, and I could not catch my breath. I was so stunned.
Wow, that's so good. What a great review, dude.
So it is, I mean, I'm begging you, nation. This is coming out, and the movie's been out for a while, but it also is the highest grossing movie of the year so far. So it's got to be still in theaters when you're hearing this.
Yeah.
Watch the first one, which is a masterpiece. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. You have
Yep.
to watch that one before you please see this movie in the theater. It is an experience.
Okay. Oh man, I'm stoked now, bro.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh wow.
Kaz and Amy, I was talking about it at a dinner we were having with Kaz and Amy, and Jessica's like, "Don't overhype it, don't overhype it." And I was like, "I don't care. Like, you can't
Yeah.
overhype this movie." And then they went to see it last night, and they were like, "You're right. You didn't overhype it."
Awesome. Maybe we can go Sunday. Maybe I can take the girls on Sunday.
Okay, see the first one first,
Oh, of course. Yeah, yeah. That
which
you
is
know what?
also incredible. And you after you see the first one, you'll be like, "How can it get better?"
Yeah. Here's what was fun. I was yeah, you texted me that on the
Mm-hmm.
way. Aaron and I were on the way to something. And I texted you, dude, what do we need to see before we see the new Spider-Man? And you were like, just the other Spider-Man.
Yep.
And I said two things. I was like, one, it's amazing having a friend that knows this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And two, yes, that's
I'm
so
so
good.
relieved.
Because yeah, because we can do that with the girls
Yes.
easily.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's not like we need to take them through 10 movies.
And the good thing about these Spider-Mans are that that Spider-Man is a kid in this movie. He's
Oh, right.
still a teenager.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
so I mean, I can't get over how good it is. So people should see that.
Cool.
That's what gave me a lot of life this week. And I
Love
saw
it.
The Flash also. I saw 3 movies in a row, 3 days in
Dang.
a row because you
Wow.
miss so much when you're out of the country.
Right? Yeah.
So I watched Transformers, really good.
That looks fun.
The Flash, real fun, but looked like buttholes. And Spider-Man transcendent, like I said.
Oh, all right. Sounds
You'll
great,
love
dude.
The Flash, by the way. You should see it, even though it doesn't look good to me.
Oh yeah. Oh,
There are things
I know I'm gonna love it.
there are things in The Flash that are gonna blow your friggin' mind.
Yep. I know it.
You're gonna love it. Okay. I just say that as a DC fan. You're gonna be pleasured in that movie.
Dude, Michael Keaton. I mean, come on, dude.
He's
Old
awesome
school
in it.
Batmobile.
The
Uh,
Batwing.
yeah, the Batwing. Yeah. I mean it's like The Martian didn't even need to have a good plot and I would have liked it because it's Matt Damon and Mars. You
Y-
know?
You could pay $30
Yeah.
to go to see this movie, and you'd be happy because of the Michael Keaton stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, let us know, people. I actually am curious what movies people are going to. Also curious to hear if anybody has any thoughts on my light traveling thing that
Mm.
I'm in the process of. There's a lot of ways to contact us, but the best way is Instagram. Follow us there, and you can see our link tree in the bio that has all links to all things Gomers. You can call us on the Gomer phone, which got canceled, but I reinstated. I don't know if
Yeah.
you've been seeing those emails. We have
Loving
our
it.
number back, and that number is
Yep. 608-622-7669. That's 608 NBA Pony.
don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe and follow us on whatever podcast app you're listening to right now. Thanks to a lot of people. Davis for our music, Jason and Eric for our graphics, Adam, our webmaster, Annie, our social media guru, and especially our Gomertrons who subscribe to our second podcast, The Bonus Disc on Patreon, not only home to our monthly movie show, Perfect Movie, where we did Raiders of the Lost Ark, Speed recently. Oh, baby. This is fun stuff, but also lots of extra bonus episodes like The Perfect Vessel to Drink Coke Out of. And also, we ranked the Indiana Jones sequels recently. An embarrassment of riches over there. That's found at patreon.com/2gomers. We welcome your support and we thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Thanks, y'all. Well,
Thank you.
dude, I'm going to be unpacking
Mm.
that message that you just
Mhm.
gave. Or, well, that wasn't you know what I mean. That idea.
Our conversation, yeah.
Yep. And yeah, I feel like I was listening to a message or something.
In a bad way? Sorry.
No,
Okay, good. Phew.
dude. Of course not.
It's weird though because it was very oddly stream of consciousness for me.
Nope.
I hope it came off okay. We'll find
Dude,
out. I never know.
you know I just soak that stuff up and love it. It's like you were corn and your
You were
content
the
was
bread.
butter. I don't know how that works. Who's the butter? Who's the bread?
But there's something in there. Again, we're still in process, folks.
But dude, are you gonna do that though?
Yes.
The butter bread? It's got to be like white bread.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it tonight.
Awesome.
All right, dude. Okay. Well, great app.
All right, super fun, man. And remember, everybody, if we can go deep, travel light, pack light, become pilgrims, not tourists, have great conversations with friends, and learn about each other, do baby steps, go to movies, read books, make corn on the cob on the grill, rub it on some bread with butter. You can't do.
And happy running.
All right, let's stop that.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, stop.
All right, I'm going to stop the video. Bye, everybody.
Right, bye, everybody.